Easter egg right there.
Had been his prize for his impressive Italian campaign. But those clever Romans found a way to take his prize and turn it into his prison. With the Fabian strategy neutralizing Hannibal for now, the Romans were freed up to refocus their attention to other fronts.
Of course, in this episode, they're going to discuss the take of the Iberian Peninsula, which is going to be massive, and I'm really looking forward to see how that's going to be represented here. It's a pretty long video, so I'm sure it's going to be here. Nice.
This whole time, while we've been discussing Hannibal and the Italian campaign of the Second Punic War, fighting had actually been occurring elsewhere. For example, in 216 BC, the Romans had sent an army north to punish the Celtic tribes that had joined Hannibal.
That?
However, as the Romans entered the Latana forest, little did they know those clever Celts had set up a trap. The Celts dropped trees on them, decimating the Romans, and they even took the commander's head to use as a religious sippy cup. So that went pretty bad. Whoa, very bad.
Crazy.
But thankfully, in other theaters, things were going a bit better. For example, let's look at Sicily.
Let's go, represent.
After Cannae, internal chaos in Syracuse caused this longtime Roman ally to switch sides, because being a winner is more fun. The Carthaginians also landed troops, hoping to retake their lost island.
That is because Sicily is strategic, not because I'm Sicilian, but Sicily is incredibly strategically well-placed island from a natural perspective, of course. It's really it's the biggest island in the Mediterranean Sea, and it's right there, right in the middle between these powerful entities in the Mediterranean basin, not to mention it was supplying a lot of food and wheat. So whoever takes Sicily takes a massive boost in their economy, in their support, in their food, in their granaries, and then has a location that they can use to maneuver their troops and get closer or further away. Also because the distance that you have between northeast Sicily, the very top, where basically pretty much you have like Messina. Let me show you a modern map very quickly. This is La Sicilia. I'm from Palermo. So Messina, as you see, it's over here. The distance between La Sicilia and La Calabria is very short, which is why the Italian government has been speaking about building a bridge, and they never did. I imagine they never will. We'll probably colonize Mars before they do that. However, you can take what you do. Let's say that I'm in Palermo and I want to go to Naples or Rome. What you do, it's either you get on a plane or you get on a train in Palermo. I've done this many times. The train goes all the way through Cefalù, Capo d'Orlando, which is gorgeous. It's got a beautiful sea. And then you reach Messina. And here, the train enters inside a boat. It's like a massive ship that has railway inside. And the train goes inside these ships. So you can place several trains, in fact, inside one, and then multiple cars. And then these ships, within 40 minutes, they can reach Calabria. So whoever controls Sicily is very close to southern Italy, but it's also relatively close to what would be modern-day Tunisia, which is where historically Carthage was. See, that's Tunis. So closer to Italy, of course, but it's still very close to this area. And then all of those other areas, Egypt is here, Libya, right? And we got all of these things that would have been different names in period, of course. And I will make a video where I teach you all the names just to give you why, just to tell you why this specifically, Sicily, is such an important island strategically for these two powers as they are clashing. And so now we go into the Siege of Syracuse, I imagine. I hope they show us that.
While Roman proconsul Claudius Marcellus moved in to besiege Syracuse.
Let's go.
The siege was a brutal slug for the Romans, largely due to the presence of one famous scientist and mathematician, Archimedes. He lived in Syracuse at the time, and he invented a variety of clever contraptions to defend the city. There was a giant claw that could grab and destroy Roman ships, and purportedly even a big mirror that could magically ignite them. The Carthage...
Yeah, I mean, the mirror thing is probably wrong. I don't believe it's actually doable, but it is mentioned in the sources, so it's nice that they mentioned it, but I don't think they could actually do that.
Carthaginian forces on the island attempted to come to Syracuse's rescue, but luckily for the Romans, they all got diarrhea and then died. Finally, in the city itself, the day of a big annual religious festival came, and the Syracusans said, "Well, fellas, we've been holding off the Romans for over a year now. I think we've earned ourselves a little party. Sir, we're still under a massive siege. Are you sure? They'll probably take advantage of it. Well, Carl, I'm taking advantage of the open bar. Sir, they've got battering rams. Well, Carl, I'm ramming these hors d'oeuvres into my mouth. Sir, they'll tear down our walls. Well, Carl, I'm tearing it up on the dance floor. Sir, they're literally at the gates. Well, Carl, I'm literally at the cheese platter. Marcellus took advantage of the drunken festivities, stormed the city, and plundering ensued. In the chaos, Marcellus ordered Archimedes be captured alive. Some sources say Roman troops entered Archimedes' home, and they were like, "Hey man, are you the math guy? Go away. I'm drawing circles. Look, I just need to know if you're the nerd. Come on, bro, get out of here. You're messing up my circles." Now is not a good time to draw circles. It's always a good time for circles. I love circles. Either stop drawing the circles or I kill you. I choose the circles.
I choose the circles. He loves
Despite not
circles.
securing Archimedes, by 210 BC, the Romans did secure Sicily.
What a loss.
And also put down a Carthage-supported rebellion on nearby Sardinia. 2 Roman successes. And there were
Incredible
more to come.
They managed that.
After Cannae, King Philip V of Macedon saw an opportunity. He was concerned with recent Roman expansion into Illyria. And so, when he saw Hannibal annihilating the Romans in Italy, he said, "Oh my gosh, hey! Hey, Hannibal! Oh my gosh, you're so cool! Let's form an alliance and annihilate the Romans together!"
You're so cool.
Sure. Yes! Hannibal hoped to secure Philip's help in fighting Rome, but a Roman army was sent to the region, stirred up Philip's other Greek opponents, and essentially kept Philip bogged down in Greece for the
Divide et impera.
entire duration of the war. Another kind of Roman success. But the main front Rome was hoping to push Carthage back in
That's
was
it.
Spain.
That's what I'm
The
waiting
riches
for.
of Spain made it one of Carthage's most valuable possessions, and the Romans were eager to weaken it.
Not just the richest, but the blacksmiths. I did mention this in details in the previous video reaction, but once again, so I'm not going to say it right now. I want to see if they go into that. The 2,000 blacksmiths in New Carthage. If they don't mention it, I'll kind of mention it again a little bit